Hello and welcome to this episode of Pit Stop, where we're talking about bikers, about the where, the what, the whys and the how, and what it is that shaped you in the biker that you are today. This is a show by bikers, through bikers and for bikers. And today we are at a specific location called Skilpadvlei in the Western Cape. Something a little bit different than the studio that we are used to. And I must say that this is a hidden gem of the Western Cape that I never even knew that existed. And I must say too, the food is good and the coffee is excellent.
Amen.
And then also the people is good. So so welcome Noord-Kaapenaar to the Western Cape.
Yeah.
Where two oceans meet.
Two oceans meet.
Brothers and sisters, today I'm your host, Niels Lewitz, and my guest for the day is George Leahman. He's the president of the CMA in the Western Cape, but he's also lead pastor in the Bikers Church within the Western Cape. And George also serves on the national board for the CMA, if I'm not mistaken. So, George, very welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
We are very excited to have you here, my friend.
I love this environment.
I think
die groot gat die berg kom ontmoet.
Yeah, it's big old meets the groot gat ontmoet die berg. I must say that this is quite different than the Northern Cape, where we have flats and this is mountains.
Yeah.
And
it's precious here.
You're blessed of being here.
Ja, nee, dankie Here.
George, it's a tremendous pleasure having you here today, and thank you for making time in your very busy schedule of joining us.
Great honor.
So George, I want to ask the first question, running into it, and there's a lot of questions that we have outside that we would like to ask experienced bikers and stuff. But before we go into the good stuff, would you mind telling me of something funny or something great that happened in your life that we can share with the audience? Maybe a bike tale that sticks with you?
Yeah, look, I mean, biking is a very interesting, almost like a hobby, but to be able to use hobby for the ministry too, that's actually a wonderful tool. But look, I'm trying to think of, we have all sorts of hilarious events that take place, and we're always playing pranks on one another when we do our long rides everywhere and so on. But it's quite an amazing experience just being out there with the guys and just enjoying one another's company. That to us is the whole fun of the whole part of enjoying the ministry, really.
I can recall the one day, George, when you said it's all about the fun. When you drive and you get to a garage and you see all these bikers sitting in it, saddling up and putting all the gloves and everything, they got the helmets up, and then one guy realizes, I don't have my keys, it's somewhere, and then it's like dismounting a horse, it's like taking off everything, the frustration in those people's eyes.
Yeah, no, that has happened to me on numerous occasions. And my problem is I've got verbal diarrhea, so inevitably everybody's ready to go and I'm still talking to the petrol jockey or I'm still talking to another biker, and then I rush and they all start their bikes, and then I realize that I haven't, my sunglasses are still in my box, and then I get it out of there, and then I got the key in my leathers, and so all the guys was like, okay, when you going to join us now? So yeah, that does happen. Eh?
Get on, old man.
Yeah.
He's not that old because of choice, it's wisdom and it's experience.
Look, I'm married, man.
Well said. George, I would like to dig into it, and I want to ask, and I think this is most probably the biggest question which our audience is relating to is, where did everything start for you, or maybe perhaps why or when did this start of biking? When did this start for you?
As a young man growing up, I've always loved motorbikes. Somehow I just feel it's an adventurous spirit. Bikers have an adventurous spirit because to ride on two wheels and keep your balance with the motors. That's why I say when you have to pedal a bicycle, jy weet, dis nou moeilik, maar with a motorfiets met the engine tussen jou bene, then it's lekker. And that's how it started with me, riding with little bikes, little 50cc's, and then stealing my brother-in-law's bigger bikes and my cousin's bigger bike, and very naughty, stealing big bikes. And that's how I learned to ride them, and it's always been a great enjoyment for me. And then as a young man, I started my own business and did reasonably well in my business, and then I could afford to get a Harley. And so I got into the Harley culture, and I was in the Harley culture for many years, driving some really very expensive, very nice Harleys because I could afford them. But that's really where it began to start, when I joined the ministry first time with my Harley.
Now I understand a lot of things. When you mention the word Harleys, I can understand the shape you've got here, like that.
That's like hallelujah.
Hallelujah. It's funny how the thing about bike stealing comes up in every conversation that I have. Is I used to have the smaller ones, and I start stealing dad's bike or my brother-in-law, my cousin's bike, and the fun part of, if you drop it, you don't have to fix it. You know, you just park it there, not knowing. You know.
You don't know my brother-in-law. I had to fix it.
You got caught, brother. You got
caught. Yeah.
Now, I see on your letters here, you've got a 25 years service in CMA, which for me as a youngster, that's only been here for about 6 years, it's something to look up and something to go forward. And I seldom ask myself, what keeps the people going? It's one thing to ride recreational, but being in a ministry and actually going out for 25 years takes a lot of effort and takes a lot of confidence. So George, what is it that really keeps you going in this biking community?
You know, I think it all stems from one thing. I always say, you see, the biking, we're not a bike club, we're a ministry, and that was the thing that attracted me to the CMA originally. I remember arriving with my Harley, then we had a bikers church in Midrand, Johannesburg, and I arrived with my Harley, and I mean my Harley was quite expensive and it had a lot of expensive stuff on it. And when I pulled up over there, these guys came out and they were all riding Suzuki's and Kawasaki's and all the other kind of Japanese made motorbikes. And when they looked at my Harley, they said to me, "Hey, welcome, man. Where did you get this block of flats from?" They called my Harley a block of flats, and I was very insulted. But God had a purpose for me. I didn't get dick and run away, because, you know, I was starting to mature as a Christian. You know, love is not touchy, you know. So I didn't get too touchy about it, but I thought that was a bit offensive. Anyway, so I stuck it out. And when I saw what CMA does as a ministry, I knew God had a passion on my life to touch people. And I was a little bit dick about kerk bank vastsitter, you know, doing nothing for Jesus, and yet he's called us to go. So, and that's the thing that gripped me about what this ministry does. And well, it's actually 26 years now, but I mean, since subsequent to joining the ministry, 26 years now. I've been in the full-time ministry 21 years. And you know, in 2019 I became the national president of CMA South Africa. So it's been a wonderful journey for me, and I can really say the fruit that we've seen God on a not only a national basis, international, because CMA is in every country around the world, and we've seen people's lives change for the better. And that has been, you know, people have given their life to Jesus, and if we can just influence one person, well, then it's just awesome. So yeah, that's why for me it's my life, you know. And on my motorbike it says committed to finish strong. So we're committed to finish strong, and that's really my passion.
George, it's very inspiring to me as a relatively a newbie in the environment. I can recall the one day when I was in Pretoria, I said I don't want to ride for a club, because there are so many clubs in this country. We're not even talking about the world, and every club's got its own visions and own reasons why they're driving. Maybe it's just brotherhoods, or we want to make a difference in a specific area, but the selection of clubs is so vast. You know, it's so big, and at the stage you had to make a choice. And said, but listen, I want to get involved here, and this is where I want to throw my weight into. What is the one thing that motivated you to go for the CMA, the Christian Motorcycle Association? We know you said it's not a club, which makes me extremely happy.
The ministry.
It makes me woo! If I had a bike, I would have been willing, you know.
No,
so, but why CMA and not start your own one, your own ministry?
Yeah, well, you know, again, and I always say this: CMA, Christian Motorcycle Association, wasn't a good idea. It was a God idea.
Oh,
and that's the difference, you see. So, and that's why I joined it, because I mean, CMA has been going for 46 years already, and in South Africa we in our 42nd year now.
Sure.
And that tells me, you know, that there's a lot of people that's come and gone, but the ministries remain consistent. There's a lot of other bike clubs that have started that are Christian orientated, but you know what's unique about CMA, and that's why I liked it. The church was birthed out of CMA. CMA wasn't birthed out of a church. Many of the bikers out there have a church. They've got people that attend the church, and they ride bikes. So they create a bike club. And then they go out and touch the guys. But CMA is exclusively aimed at a very clear ministry. We have a vision. As the Bible says, without a vision we perish. Our vision is to win motorcyclists, their family and friends to Christ. And so that is really what it is. And our mission is one heart at a time. So whatever we do, that is what we're doing. And so, there's a lot of clubs. You could start your own club. But you know what I said? You know, if this is a success and God's in it, which I knew He was, and I thought, well, you know, laat ek my skouer aan die wiel sit. Let me join these guys and, you know, by the grace of God, add value. And hopefully we have.
Wow. George, this is powerful. Wow, it hits home. You know, it's like doing that home run. It just hits home. Wow, thank you. That's inspiring to me. I have two more questions for you, though. I don't want to take you back in the past. You know, this movie, Back in the Future.
Yeah,
I want to do something like that, Back into the Future.
Okay. That's when I had long hair, so I was good looking.
Yeah, I was doing the shakes thing.
Yeah, now I just got short hair and I'm still good looking.
Good. I don't know about the good looking thing, but okay.
Well, if I don't say it, you know.
I'll have to speak to your wife. Okay, the thing is, if you go back, at what stage in your life did you realize that biking, this is me? This is part of my, it's not just getting on the bike and
to ride
and ride it or just twist the throttle. It's actually part of my DNA. I sense there's a sense that I get from you that this is not just riding, this is part of your DNA, and that choice must have come at some stage in life. So when did you really realize that biking is DNA? It's part of me.
You know, I read a thing the other day and it was quite funny, and it said, you've never seen a motorcycle parked outside a psychologist's office. Because this is psychology, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
When you get on the bike and you ride it, and that's the most amazing thing. It's just you in your helmet, with the beauty of nature, riding. You know, if you're riding very fast, then you see nothing. But there's adrenaline when you're going around corners, and I tell you, that's a better fix than going for anything else. You don't need drugs and alcohol. You just got to go ride fast a few times around a few corners. On the racetrack, not on the roads. Hello.
Be wise.
Hallelujah. And but yeah, you know, that caught me. And then adding to that, as on our badge it says, riding for the sun. Every time I put my wheels over this motorbike, I've always got my colors with me. And it's the most amazing ministry, because I don't ride this bike just to ride it. So this is my company car, as the pastor and as the CMA ministry. But every time I put my legs over here to drive, there's always a purpose. Wherever I park, people will come to me and talk to me. So it's like a mission on wheels. That's really what it is. And so that's the passion, DNA in my heart. I eat, sleep and drink the ministry and biking.
It's unbelievable. I won't mention anything about it being a GS, but I think let's. but I want to affirm something from you with you, and I think it's affirmation. I sense when you get on your bike, it's not that you always take the Bible out with you. It's like you're living out the Bible, which is a huge difference in preaching and being on the pulpit. It's got its places. It's important. But going out on your bike and being part of the community, it's actually about Sorry for that, gentlemen. It's
That was a
all
good
about.
looking. I could just paused you.
Girls, don't look at that guy. Look here. Eh? He's beautiful. We're more beautiful. Okay. But it is about living out your life. It's about showing the gospel, sharing the gospel by what you do and how you do it. Now, this is a question I'd like to ask always right at the end. And meaning that we are now getting to the end.
Yeah.
If you have to give advice for young upcoming individuals that is actually getting into biking now, what kind of motivational advice would you give those youngsters that want to join a CMA youth chapter or even a youth in their own clubs? What kind of advice would you give them?
Obviously we got a lot of people that are not biking people that have become biking people as a result of seeing what this ministry does. So we try our best to get our youngsters that are in our youth to go through the same process we do to get our colors, the prospecting, to give them a bit of a platform to understand. And then when they're at a certain age, because the rallies is R18, rallies. So you can't take the youth to a rally, but to a day or a function, just to expose them to the world out there. You were saying we don't walk with the Bible on our arm. Well, I tell you, we got a Bible and a praying hands and a cross over here. So the oak doesn't know what I stand for. Well, he's either very confused or he doesn't really want to know. But so they're under no illusions who we are when we get there. But you know, Christianity is about lifestyle. It's not. It's not quoting scriptures, and it's not about judging people and stuff like that. It's just earning the right to speak into people's lives. Friendship evangelism, that's so important. Just loving on the people, you know, the bikers, and because I know the people, when they look at bikers, they look at us and they think, yes, like, kyk, hy veil goed, you know, I've had Tannies insult me with my colors, Christian colors. She says, sis, julle veil goed, you know, and she someone judged me, and a lot of people judge bikers like that. If I tell people, they say to me, where do you go to church? And I tell her, I'm in the bikers church. They nearly have a heart attack. They think ons speel godsdienst. You know? Ek sê, jy moenie met die Here doop nie, jy weet, en doop is die woord. And doop. But to give the youngsters, you know, as they walking with the Lord, you know, it's like any ministry. God gifts us, and then if there's that calling on your life, you know, God will take you through it, and you know, it's really stay faithful. I always say to the guys, I said it the other day in Kimberley, the colors do not give significance to me. I give significance to the colors. So how I live wearing this will impact the world, and that's what I say to the young people. Don't strive for colors, strive to be the best child of God you can be. And then join the CMA, put on your colors and go and be effective and change the world one heart at a time. Amen.
George, thank you so much. I think this is this was opening for me. This is all inspiring to me. Now, I know there's a lot of people looking and burning to ask the question is, how do we get older? How do we get involved, especially in the area of Cape Town? I can always invite them by saying you can pop me an email through Pit Stop Ministries, or just Pit Stop. Normally you can contact us through there. Or how can they locally get involved? We don't normally give out cell phone numbers for obvious reasons, but where's a place they can go to?
Well, I suppose if you go to any of the media, you just have to put on CMA Cape Town, or CMA South Africa, or Bikers Church Cape Town, and you'll be connected with us. Because all our CMA people, and we're very fortunate in this part of the world, most of our CMA people go to Bikers Church. So if you ever want to do, and you're in this area, come to Bikers Church 6 o'clock on a Sunday evening. We always go to church service. Our presidents are there, all the guys are there. I pastor the church, and we're glad to meet you. We have a loving, kind, beautiful brotherhood of people and sisterhood, and so we're not far. You just go quickly onto media. Google does a great job for us. Just Google there, Bikers Church Cape Town, and I'm telling you what, you will connect with us any day. We'd love to have people. We're looking for people that will go out there and put their hearts to the ministry and make a change for Jesus.
George, thank you so much for spending the time with me and with our viewers out there. I think I've grown personally, and I've really learned more even you can never learn enough.
No.
So once again,
true.
thank you for your time, brother.
Bless you, man. It's always
it's a
good.
privilege. And for you guys out there, thank you for once again for joining. Next time, same place, same slot. We'll talk to somebody.
Different
maybe
venue.
Different venue, perhaps. Yeah. I invite you. But guys, if you've got any questions, this is the man you need to speak to. Once again, thanks a lot.
God bless.